are listening to the Technical Foul Podcast for Wednesday, April 25th, 2017. I'm your host, Manny Fresh, and I am joined by my brother from another mother, Kyyiann Sippio. What's good? Nigga, I gotta introduce you first. You know what I mean? You gotta let me do my whole stage. I gotta introduce you officially to the...
I was gonna introduce myself, man.
I feel you.
Can I introduce myself?
Go ahead and introduce yourself, man. Since you're so ready to tell the world who you are, go ahead.
My name is Kyyiann Sippio, host of the Endzone TV. Endzone TV is a YouTube / Facebook Live based NFL pick show that I do every single Sunday during the NFL season. Let's get it.
Don't need me around to host a podcast. Shit, just go ahead and just X me out the picture.
No, bro.
I'm messing with you, man.
He told me. Me casa, two casa, so that's
I'm messing with you, man. I'm messing with you. Hey, everybody, this is my brother. I've known this man. Can you believe we've known each other for 15 years, bro?
15 years, bro.
15 years, man. We met at the Sawyer basketball court. This nigga came on the court. I was like, man, who is this big nigga playing basketball, man? And I'm like, then this nigga just started hooping, and this man started hooping, and I was like, yo, this dude can hoop for a fat dude. And I was like, what? I mean, I'm talking about doing spins and fadeaways, everything. But ever since then, we clicked up. It's my brother right here.
You already know. It's my brother. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. You already know.
So what's good, man? How's everything? How's life?
Everything is up. Everything's everything, man. Just trying to be a family, man. Trying to be like you, man. That's it.
You ain't trying to be like me, man. I ain't trying to be like me. I'm trying to be like you.
Yeah, right.
Trying to be like you, man. Trying to be like you. You only got one kid, man. I'm trying to be like you. It's a lot easier than three little ones running around.
Bro, you got 3 little ones, bro. That's wow, bro. Like, I can't even lie, bro. Like, I look at you like a little brother, and you know that, bro. I am very, very proud of you, bro. I'm very proud of you.
Respect.
Bro. You turned it. You are mad, bro, and I appreciate, bro. I'm proud of you, bro. Straight up.
Thank you. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. For real. But enough with the sappiness. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get into some discussion about the NFL draft. It's coming up. This is both of our favorite time of the year. Both of ours. It's our favorite time of the year because it's the NFL draft. It's like Christmas for an NFL fan. Obviously, you guys already know that. Before we get into the draft, and we will get into them bum-ass Rockets. Don't worry. My friend here is a Rockets fan. I don't know why, but he's a Rockets fan, so we will definitely get into that.
Rockets fans is not in time, man.
I feel you, man. I feel you. I mean, he is a legitimate, real deal, true to the core Rocket. Like, he was a Rocket fan before they got good. He's not a fair weather Rocket fan. He's not a new Johnny come lately. He is a real deal Rocket fan. Like, he was a Rockets fan with Steve Francis and Yao Ming and Catino Mobley. He's a Rocket fan with Kenny Smith and Robert Horry and of course Hakeem and all them. And he's a real deal Rockets fan. Like, one of like the 6 out there, but he's one of them.
That's the squad, man. I've been running with us since '95, man.
I feel you, man. Go ahead, run with your squad, man. Don't let me say nothing about them. You know what I mean? That's your squad, man. Go ahead, man. Go ahead, man. Do what you do.
You know what I'm saying? It feels good. It feels good to be in this position, but it's just I watch our games and oh my God, it's cringeworthy.
Well, we will definitely get into that. Don't you worry. But before we do, man, I know you gave yourself your little intro or whatever, man. But for the folks that have not listened to you or have not watched your YouTube videos or whatever, just give them a quick intro to Endzone TV or whatever, what you do, how you broadcast, where they can find you, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, Endzone TV, something I started, like, I ain't even gonna lie, it was so unplanned, it's ridiculous. I one day just grabbed my phone and started recording and doing my picks for the week. And also just started asking panel questions and stuff like that. That was, I think that was like 5 years ago. I started doing that. It's on TV. You can find me on Facebook Live. My name is Kyyiann Sippio, KYYIANNSIPPIO. Or you can find the hashtag Endzone TV. on Facebook. I do it on YouTube. I just started doing Instagram Live. Instagram is different for me. I'm not an Instagram fan, but I do like Facebook Live. It's dope. I got a lot of people on Facebook who look forward to my picks every week. I'm trying to learn this Skype thing, man. They got me on this. I don't know if I like it much. I don't know, but
you've been on it 6 minutes and you're already bashing it. You've been on it 6 minutes, man. Got to give it some more time.
Hey, bro, this is the most different thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my God!
Look like, oh man, this country dude don't know what they're doing. I do know what I'm doing. It's a little different for me. That's all.
I feel you. But Endzone TV, man, check out my brother. He does good work, man. He makes picks all 17 weeks in the NFL season. He does picks, and including the playoffs, man.
Absolutely.
When you gonna do it? When you gonna do an Endzone TV for the college football though, man? That's a given.
Endzone TV is I try to make it NFL based because college is 140 seats. You know what I'm saying?
You know, nobody cares about Tulane versus Fordham. Like, you got to do the big games, at least the 10 or 12 scores that everybody cares about from week to week. Those are the ones that everybody's paying attention to. Nobody cares about Tulane versus South Louisiana. You know what I mean? Those are the big matchups. Florida versus whoever, Nebraska versus whoever, Texas versus whoever, whatever. You know what I mean? But I think I've been telling you this offline, but whatever. We ain't gonna bring that up.
Hey, we need, honestly, okay then, check it out. This is what we'll do. On Saturday mornings, I know you get up and football's already on when you get up. Me, my side, East Coast, Florida, games come on at 12 o'clock. We can link up, get it going, and we can do top 25 games or top 10 games and go from there, bro. Like, I have no problem doing it, man.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Y'all heard it, TFPers. Y'all heard it, TFPers. College football season, we're gonna be making some picks. So let's make some money, man. Let's do it.
And foremost, I would like to say, go Gators. You know what I'm saying? I am a Gators fan.
My God.
Let's get it. University of Florida, Chomp Chomp, go Gators, man. That's what time it is.
I'm gonna just let them live on the Gators. I'm gonna let them live. I ain't even gonna attack his Gators right now because could y'all score more than 10 points?
Hey, listen. That is on the way. Don't try to be all high and mighty because y'all had to come to Florida to get Scott Frost.
What you talking about? What you talking about, man? What you talking about? We had to come to Florida to get Scott Frost, man. He's a Nebraska boy.
But you know Frost was having cold feet. I was at the AAC championship game at UCF versus Memphis. Frost had cold feet.
He wouldn't have he wasn't having cold feet, man. It was just it was understandable. I mean, he loved his players out in UCF and Orlando or whatever. You know what I'm saying? This is hard. I mean, he's an authentic dude, man. But of course, the lure of coming home was always gonna take him back to Lincoln, man. I mean, it's nothing, man. You know what I mean? UCF couldn't afford to keep Frost there forever, man. Come on now, we know that.
All I'm gonna say is that when it gets 12 degrees on Saturday morning.
Oh man, whatever. Just call me when the Gators get a quarterback. That's just please.
Hey, look, but you know what happens when we do get a quarterback?
All I'm saying is it's been a long time since Tim Tebow, man. It's been a while, man. It's been a long time since I heard it from you for years. Oh, Jeff Driscoll's the guy. And I kept waiting. I was like, all right, this Jeff Driscoll, number one quarterback in the country, high school phenom, blah, 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 blasey, blasey. And I'm like, damn, this is Jeff Driscoll? This is the guy that's going to resurrect Florida? And I'm like, I don't know. Y'all got to keep trying.
Driscoll in high school. If you would have saw him as much as I did, this dude almost beat the Lakeland Dreadnoughts, which is a national powerhouse, a national power when it comes to high school football. This guy almost beat them single-handedly by himself. It was amazing. And then this guy comes to Florida, stakes it up, then goes to Louisiana Tech and passes for 3,700 yards.
So what's the one common denominator? Y'all coach was ass, basically.
It's Will Muschamp.
Will Muschamp. And then McElwain wasn't that much better.
Oh my God! I don't know what happened, man. Our athletic department is not choosing the right dudes, but now, goddamn Mullen, who's somebody who should have been the head coach a long time ago. Him or Charlie Strong should have been the head coach a long time ago.
I think y'all should have went for Strong. I think y'all should have went for Charlie Strong.
Man, I don't even want to talk about it. Man.
I like Mullen. I mean, Mullen will do a good job. He's a good coach. I like Mullen. He's a decent coach. I think he'll do a good job. But I think Strong would have been probably the better hire.
Oh man, it hurts, man. It still hurts because Charlie was in our back pocket. We had him. Then he goes to Louisville, smashes us in Sugar Bowl, and oh man,
he smashed y'all all right.
Man, let's not talk about it.
I'm gonna let you live on your Gators, man. I'm gonna let you live, man. We're not gonna talk. We're not gonna talk about Jim. We're not gonna talk about McElwain and his fake death threats.
Well, you punched me right in the face today, but I heard.
Like, come on, man. You can't make up fake death threats, Brad. Like, come on, man. You gonna get fired, so you gonna make up fake death threats? Like, come on, man. Come on, man. But I'm gonna let you live, though. I'm gonna let you live. All I gotta say is Antonio Callaway.
Hey,
idiot.
Oh
I know we haven't gotten there yet, but he's in the running for fouls of the week, definitely, because he's an idiot.
Oh my God, man! I've never seen a young man with so much talent and so much his ceiling is so high to just piss everything away. And there was a Twitter video came out today, him working with Antonio Brown. So him and Antonio Brown are friends. But my thing is, if you're trying to follow in his footsteps, why are you still smoking weed, dog? Just put it down, man. You gonna get millions.
But right around the draft, though, this is what these cats don't. This is what pisses me off, right? It's like, yo, these cats don't realize, this is a job interview. This is a job interview. You know what I mean? This is legit. I know it's guys running around in shorts and Under Armour and so it doesn't feel like it's a job interview, but it is. You're performing in front of what? 200 scouts, what? 30-something GMs, whatever, right? This is a job interview. You would think common sense would say, you know what? Let me be on my best behavior. Let me answer all the questions, no matter how stupid, no matter how innocuous, whatever. Let me answer all the questions. Let me do what I got to do. Let me put on my brave face like normal people would at a job interview. You got a job. When you went to a job interview, did you smoke a blunt before you went to the job interview? Or literally in the parking lot of the job? Oh yeah, let me light up real quick. Come in, smell like straight dro. And what are you doing, man?
Oh man, it hurts, man. It hurts. Oh, this dude, if you'd have seen the promise, in the Tennessee game when we caught the pass, we won that one. Even when we got our butt kicked against Alabama, he's the only one balling on our team. He's the only one that after the game, he's in the locker room upset because we lost. We knew we were going to lose to Alabama. Antonio Callaway took everything personal. And that's why I love that young man. I wish that I could just shake him and be like, yo, put down the weed. You know what I'm saying?
Put it down, brother. Put it down.
Man, it hurts. That really, really hurt me, man. Because last year we had 12 missing guys. So our depth was terrible. We had no guys to fill it. Dude, we were pieced together team, man. Pieced together the whole season, man.
I feel you, man. I liked him every time I saw Florida play. I'll admit I don't watch him a lot, but the games I did watch, 3 or 4, in particular, he always stood out to me. I was like, I don't understand how y'all got offensive issues. I mean, well, I get it. Y'all don't have a fucking quarterback, but Callaway is a beast, man. So yeah, I get it. He's disappointed. I mean, it's just and it's not just him. I mean, it's all these dudes that fill drug tests. I'm like, what are y'all doing? Yes. You costing yourself money. Did y'all not learn from Laramie Tunsil? Dog cost himself $10, $12 million off a video.
But man, that the Laramie Tunsil video somebody had it out for that young man.
Yeah, no, I get it. Somebody had it out for him, but I mean, I'm just making a larger point that I'm like, these things cost you money. Like, this isn't high school, this isn't college where like your name and your talent alone will get you by. Like, bruh, like this is big boy business. Like, this is money involved now. Like if I'm a GM and like. I always think about it like if I'm a GM, like, do I want to sign a cat that shows up to the combine? This is the biggest 3 or 4 days of your life. You show up here high? You show up here fail a drug test? You show up here a la Reuben Foster trying to fight the medical staff or do something stupid? Like, bruh, like, I don't even care how much I love you as a player. Like, I'm not drafting you because you're not mature enough. If you're not mature enough to take this process seriously, then I can't draft you.
You're absolutely right, bro. You're absolutely right. They don't understand that the NFL is a business. That's the main thing they don't get. But the thing is, though, we don't have some guy in NFL reaching back to enough of these young guys to be like, hey, man, listen, this is the rubric. This is how you do it.
I'm sure they do. Pac, I'm sure they do, man. I'm sure they do. Like, I understand it to a certain extent. I understand what you're saying to a certain extent, but I'm sure they do. These kids, these guys have agents. They all have agents and guys, teams of agents or whatever that work, that know the league, know the in and outs and whatever, have contacts or whatever. They know what's expected of them. You want to tell me guys in the 70s when communication was a little bit more limited, they didn't, guys didn't know what to expect or whatever. But this is 2018. These guys know. These guys are all smart kids. They all have Twitter. They all have social media. There's a computer in basically every block of the world. Like, this is not hard information to figure out. I'm sure they get briefed on this. I'm sure they get told. I'm sure they have agents that advise them. They have advisors that advise them. I'm sure people in the school advise them, pro days and whatnot, combine stuff. Like, they have enough people, I'm sure, that'll tell them, like, yo, you might not want to smoke weed before the combine. Like, just maybe, you know what? A week to 2-3 weeks, you know what? Stop smoking weed. But these dudes continue to do it, and they get in trouble. But yeah, man, Callaway, waste, man. But yeah, man.
The thing is, he won't get drafted. He won't get drafted.
No, I think he'll still get drafted. I think he's. I mean, what? Because where was it? I kept seeing the mock drafts throughout this whole process, and he was rated. I mean, the first thing people said was he's one of the most talented wide receivers in this class, but off the field issues are going to mar him. So they had him the earliest I saw him is 3rd round. And that was before the fucking drug test. So I saw him 3rd round. Now he's 4th, 5th, maybe 6th. Easily. I mean, unless there's like a Marvin Lewis out there. Marvin Lewis don't give a damn. He'd sign OJ if it could help him win games. Marvin don't care. I'm like, damn, Marvin. But I mean, you'll find some coach out there that falls in love with him and gives him the quote unquote second chance, second opportunity. But if he doesn't, I mean, I don't see. He'll still get drafted because he's too talented. He's too talented. Somebody will draft it. If somebody drafted Reuben Foster, bro, they're gonna draft Antonio Callaway.
No, feel where I'm coming from. You get kicked out. You get kicked off your football team for the whole year.
Right.
New coaching regime comes in.
Right.
You fail a drug test with them.
Right.
That's why he sent you on your way. You wanted to come back and play for the Gators shit. Antonio Callaway should have been on the field for the Gators if he would have had his nose clean when the new regime came in. The new regime came in, he failed a drug test this season. Goes to the combine. Pretty much, like you said, high or you know what I'm saying? Pretty much smoke one in the parking lot. You know what I mean?
It's beyond me, man. It's like, dude, did you guys just are you, I almost feel like they are trying to sabotage themselves in a way. Like, are you trying to sabotage yourself? Like, are you just trying to not to get drafted by certain teams? Because there are guys that do that. Like, oh, I don't want the Browns to draft me, so I'm going to just go into this interview and bullshit, or I'm going to go into this, whatever. You know what I mean? But like, I almost feel like some of them are almost sabotaging themselves in a way. Like, I don't want to believe that, but it almost feels like it. Because, I mean, this is just common sense. This is just common sense.
It is common sense, man. It is common sense. And that's all you can say is common sense. And it hurts. It hurts.
Amazing, man.
Me as a game, you know what I'm saying, personally, but to see him as a young man that could have the world, oh my God.
Yeah. I I hope this whole situation, this whole experience, maybe dropping a few rounds on draft night or draft weekend or whatever, I hope it makes him realize. I hope it makes him wake up and smell the roses or whatever and look at his situation and look like how much money he cost himself. Like, instantly on talent alone, I mean, at the very least, he could have been a second round pick. And I don't even love this wide receiver, and we'll get into that. I don't love this wide receiver class. I think this is the worst crop of wide receivers we've seen in a long while. Like, out of a draft class.
I wouldn't say worse, but it's not as good as it normally is. We don't have that big go-to receiver that everybody wants.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's really not there. It's not there this year. With all the spread offenses in college football, and everybody wants to air the ball out. Quarterbacks want to throw for 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 yards, whatever, during the college season. You think that, okay, we got a big-time receiver coming out. And we really, really don't. We really don't.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Crazy.
So yeah, let's get into this draft, man. Before we actually reveal our mock drafts or whatever, kind of give your I know we've kind of skirted around it a little bit, but give your overall thoughts on this draft, man. Do you like this draft? Do you think this is a great draft? This is an overrated draft, an underrated draft, a so-so draft? Like, what is your opinion overall on this draft class as a whole? Before we get into the quarterbacks, running backs, or whatever.
I think it's an alright draft. I kind of like the offensive lineman in this draft. As far as defensive linemen, you got a few defensive linemen that are going to be, you know what I'm saying, guys in the draft. You got Taylor Brown from the University of Florida. What's the other gentleman's name from Washington? Peter Vay. He's a beast. I think that this defensive line class is pretty good. You know what I'm saying? The running backs, I believe. There's guys, Saquon Barkley, a couple other guys, you know what I'm saying? We only have I think we really maybe have one or two first round running backs in this draft. You know what I'm saying? One definite, one possibly.
But do you like the running back? Running back crew as a whole, though? Do you think this is a good crowd? Because I think it is. I think it's a really good running back crew.
I think with Son Michel, Nick the gentleman out of USC. I think the running back class could be good, but the NFL has made the running back a dime a dozen. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's like, running back a dime a dozen, running back's a dime a dozen, or running back's a dime a dozen. Every team will have a target. You know what I'm saying? Me being a Rams fan, that's how I feel. So every team will have Todd Gurley, and running back's a dime a dozen. You know what I'm saying? So I look at it as, like the NFL has changed the running back position so much that everybody feels like, I can just go put the running back off the street, and that's not the case.
Well, I do think that you're seeing a little bit of a return of the featured back. I think that was right for about 10 to 15, almost 15 years or whatever. Last decade or so, first half of this decade, where the running back was really devalued. And I think that you're seeing that return of the featured back. Obviously, the last few drafts have produced some of the best running backs in the sport right now. So I think you're definitely seeing the return of the featured, big time, all-inclusive back to most NFL offenses. Because there was a time there where I felt like, they're basically almost trying to do away with the running back completely. Like, they're almost trying to make it like the fullback, where like the fullback is almost prehistoric now. Like, if you see a team with a fullback now, you're like, damn, they got a fullback? Like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Their fullback is a quote unquote blocking tight end or whatever, basically. So yeah, no, it's crazy. But I think you're definitely seeing a return of the running backs. I like this running back core. I don't think it's as, I ain't gonna say star-studded as last year, but I think it's pretty good. I like it. I'm down on the wide receiver group. What do you think about the overall? We talked about it a little bit, but what do you think about the wide receiver core in this draft? I know it's not as good as his last couple drafts, but overall, who's the one guy that you have your eye on as far as receivers?
As far as receivers, man, I like DJ Moore out of Maryland. I really, 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 because I watch this kid a lot. I like Christian Kirk out of Texas A&M. I really like Christian Kirk. He's one of those guys he's not going to back down anybody. He doesn't care who you are, like what you do, you know what I'm saying? He just doesn't back down. I really, really like Christian Kirk as far as wide receivers go. really like that kid. And I really do. Because against Florida, you know what I'm saying, I watched every game again. Against Florida, he didn't back down from any of the DBs that we had. Any of the DBs we had. He felt like he was the man on the court, no doubt about it. Every single play, he felt like he was the man.
Yeah.
I really like that young.
What do you think of DJ Moore, the kid out of Maryland?
If they had a better quarterback, he would have went even more. You know what I'm saying? Like, he would have went. Maryland doesn't have much. You know what I'm saying? So DJ Moore had to carry everything. A lot of everything. I think that DJ Moore can be the man. I got DJ Moore, to be honest with you. I have him in the first round somewhere, but I don't know if he's going to be. I don't know if this team would just jump out on the limb and take him at that point. I really don't know.
What's the kid out of SMU? I always forget his name.
Sutton, last name.
Yeah, Cortland Sutton. I always forget his name. I know his first name is Cortland or whatever. Sutton, I think, right? Cortland Sutton. Yeah. What are your thoughts on him? Out of all the wide receivers, well, out of the big wide receivers or whatever, I haven't really watched him play. I mean, who watches SMU? But what are your thoughts on Cortland Sutton?
I like Sutton. I really like Sutton. It's hit or miss because you can put any of these guys. You can put any of these guys. You know what I'm saying? Some people have him in the first round, some people have him in the second. The mock draft that I was looking at the other day, they have him in the second round. I don't know, man. It's so hit or miss with this whole wide receiver core. And he goes to SU. Chad Morris is, Chad Morris, head coach there. They're the same offense as Clemson does. So they do pass the ball. They're pretty good run game, but they pass the ball. And he'll go get it, but just it's hit or miss. Everything is so hit or miss with this wide receiver core. I don't really like this receiver core, man. I know you got Ridley out of Alabama, you got Cortland Sutton. I don't really think that this wide receiver class can hold up to some that came through. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
And then you got Antonio Callaway, who could have been in this draft and possibly, been a first round pick. I'm not saying that he is, but could have been something to make this wide receiver class even better. But they look like trash right now, just being honest. Outside looking in, they don't look good.
What about Ridley? What are your thoughts on Ridley?
Oh my God, he's a great route runner. But all I know is if you throw that ball out there, that young man is going to get it. You throw that football.
I'm not as high on Ridley as other people are. I like him. I don't see superstar with Ridley. I don't know. I don't know. Something about him. I don't know. I don't think he was as productive as he should have been in Alabama. I always kept hearing. I mean, he was good. Don't get me wrong. Like, he was productive, but he came in with the hype. Everybody was just expecting him to just kind of take over the reins for Cooper and following those same footsteps. And I don't think he was as productive as I think they would have liked him to be. I think he was really hit or miss with them. I mean, he had some big games. But then he had some moments where he was really, really quiet. I think he's a good player. I don't know if he's a franchise wide receiver, a guy like that, a guy you build your offense around for years to come. I don't see that in him, but I think he's a good number 2 option.
Now, that young man be like this. He's not a great route runner. He's not the greatest route runner in the world. You're not going to put him there one side of the field and let him run around, break him DB down, and get open and catch the football. Now, he probably can do that if it's one-on-one, but if he's running through something, probably not. But if that young man is running downfield, I don't know who you're going to put on him. That man will outrun the cameraman. He will outrun the police. That young man, dude, I've seen him do this plenty of times. Where the play will be set up, it'll be on play action, and this young man is running past everybody. Or even if it's a straight drop back pass, he's running right past everybody like they're standing still. He has that type of breakability, but what offense would he fit good at? Is he the dink and dunk receiver that the Patriots need? Hell no. Is he the receiver that can stretch the field like the LA Rams do? Possibly he can be. You know what I'm saying? So it's hit and miss with him, but that young man is fast and he can really catch the football. He's great, man. I like him. I don't think, like you said, he's number 1 receiver put him out there. He's not Julio. He's not those guys that came before him. But he's definitely a number 2 option. And if you put him in the slot, he's going to outrun anybody you put in front of him.
What's your thoughts on the tight end class? Because I really love this tight end class. I think it's a deep tight end class. Gesicki from Penn State, I love that kid. I think he's a very, very good player.
Yes.
I like. What's that?
I like Gesicki, man. I really do.
Yeah, he's a beast, man. And what about and I love the kid from Oklahoma. I forget his name too. The big ass tight end from Oklahoma. Shoot, I forget his name.
I told his name myself. I told his name myself. Yeah, what about Hurts from South Carolina?
Yeah, he's good too. I mean, again, I think this is a very deep. I mean, if you need a tight end, I mean, this is a very good class for a tight end. I think this is. I think you'll definitely be able to find a good tight end in the first 3 rounds. I think this is a very deep class of tight ends. And obviously, let's not bury the lead. Obviously, the quarterbacks is what dominates everything. So let's get it started. Let's get the discussion going because I'm sure everybody loves our thoughts on wide receivers and D linemen, but the quarterbacks is what everybody cares about. So what's your...
say one thing.
Go ahead.
I like Gesicki at tight end. His only thing is that he's not a good blocker. He's not a great blocker.
But is that really important now, though? I mean, is it important in today's NFL? I mean, at one point it was, but is it really? I hear that a lot. I mean, I think it's. I don't think it's as important as it was once, a long time ago.
Yes, I understand that. But in today's NFL, like you got to be able to block.
Yeah. No, I get it. I'm not trying to downplay. Like I know you still have to be able to block. I get that, but I'm just saying I don't think it's as much as it's as much of a red flag as it used to be, or it could have been. Like if you were a tight end and couldn't block at all, like that was just like no, we're just not even. But now I think it's just like okay, like everybody treats it like we'll work on it, well he'll learn how to block or whatever, you know what I mean? So yeah, I get it though. It's still important. Yeah, go ahead.
Like, if you run a zone, you know what I'm saying, you got to at least be able to get out in front of somebody. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, a lot of teams nowadays, it's we're going to run 22 down. No. It's a lot of zone blocking. Everything is zone now. If you got a tight end that can block, that can help block in the zone, it's even better for you. You know what I mean? It's even better for you. And if they can block on the edge, just like outside, if you can line them up at X or line them up at, you know what I'm saying? Like, it would be... It's great if they can keep that defensive back out there. It's great. You know what I mean? If you have that kind of guy. But let's move on to quarterbacks.
Yeah, let's get to the quarterbacks because me and you have had some discussions offline about the quarterbacks. It seems like for the last couple years actually with this quarterback class. So overall, what are your thoughts on this quarterback class? Some people love it. Some people think it's overrated. What are your thoughts overall? And before we get into individual guys, what's your thought overall on this quarterback class?
I think the quarterback position as a whole, I know it's not college's jobs to produce quarterbacks for the NFL. Their job is to get the right quarterback in their system so they can be successful. You know what I'm saying? And I had to learn that. I had to take a step back and be like, okay, but why are colleges getting quarterbacks ready for the NFL? Because it's not their job. College coaches' jobs are to win college football games. It's not prepare that quarterback for the NFL. It's to win college football games, period.
Right.
And to make their record good. And I'm like, man, a lot of these kids that we're getting out of colleges, they're not really good. You know what I'm saying? You got Paxton Lynch, who I thought was going to be okay, at least.
Me and you had that discussion. I saw him against Auburn, and I was like, this dude sucks. I was like, this guy is not good at all. I thought he was. I never bought into the Paxton Lynch hype. Never.
Listen to what you're saying. You saw him against Auburn. Auburn's defense, when they get a wild scout you, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. You know what I mean? I had to take a step back. So therefore, you know what I mean? I actually like this quarterback class. I really, really do. I really like this quarterback class. I think that, okay, with Baker Mayfield, all right, you got a dude so much higher, just killing himself all the time. Literally, sometimes on the sideline. That's just what he does. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You got Sam Darnold, who probably has the most. Well, I say he's the second best quarterback in the draft. You got Sam Darnold, who can do anything. He's mobile, put the ball where he needs to be. I don't like throwing motion, but hey, who cares? Whatever. He's actually pretty feasible. You know what I'm saying? You draft him, you got a quarterback for the future. You let him sit for a year, possibly a year and a half, then give him the reins, let him do a little something like we did with Jared Goff. You know what I mean?
Right.
Our guy in this draft, who I feel is the best quarterback in this draft, and I know you're probably not going to agree with me because you do love USC quarterbacks. I think it's Josh Rosen.
No, I agree with you. I think Josh. I like Sam Darnold as well. Like I think it's 1A for me with those two. But I love Josh Rosen. I love Josh Rosen. As soon as he stepped on UCLA's campus, I love Josh Rosen. I was like, man, you're watching the next great young, like you're watching the next Manning, Brady, that level.
Wow. All right, this is possibly, ladies and gentlemen, I just want y'all to know this is possibly the third time that Manny and I have ever agreed on something. And especially quarterbacks. we never agree on quarterbacks. And wow,
let's not forget you thought Jimmy Clausen was going to be great.
I thought Jimmy Clausen, and you thought what was the guy that you thought was going to be great? Oh my God! Matt Barkley. You thought Matt Barkley.
I thought Barkley was going to be good in the NFL. I really did. He's been all right. He hasn't been terrible.
What? You thought Christian Hackenberg was going to be the man?
Yeah, I did. I'll take the L for that. I will take the L. I will take the abuse for that. I thought Christian Hackenberg, like, had he came out his freshman year, I thought he would have been the number one pick. I thought Hackenberg was great. I'm not now. Here's the thing with that. It's a little. Be fair now. I was not the only one that thought that about Christian Hackenberg. I was not the only one. I knew a lot of people that were on the Christian Hackenberg bandwagon until James Franklin got there.
Most of America was on the Christian Hackenberg bandwagon.
Yeah, and then he's just been I can't even say he's been terrible because we haven't even had a chance to watch him. Like he's just been in mothballs basically.
That's right. You're absolutely right, man.
No, but go ahead with the Rosen breakdown.
I love Josh Rosen, man. He had nothing, and he made something happen at UCLA. Like you can't. Man, I like him. I really, really like him. I wish he could have possibly stayed a year to play in Chip Kelly's system and see how Chip Kelly will change his system to fit Josh Rosen. You know what I'm saying? So Josh Rosen is actually throwing the ball more, reading coverages more. But I think it was the most NFL ready in the draft. We do have Josh Allen, big arm, but I don't believe in him. I really don't believe in him. I tried to watch his film. I watched a lot of film on Josh Allen. It just didn't do anything for me. He's throwing the ball up sometimes. And plus, because every competition played at Wyoming, like, you don't really play much. You know what I'm saying? And you don't really, I don't know. Did he even get, I think he got honorable mention in their conference for their all-conference team. He even made the all-conference team.
Yeah.
So he's getting a lot for no reason.
Yeah. I mean,
that's how I feel, you know. And then you got Lamar Jackson, who's the most dynamic player, second most behind Saquon Barkley in this draft. Like, you can put in Jackson's hands and just watch him do his thing pretty much. You know, he's a regular guy from Florida. This is what you deal with every single time you play a guy from Florida. You know?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you play a quarterback from the state of Florida, black dude, fast, run spread system, this is what you're gonna run to.
So why do you think he's been so polarizing? And we'll get to Rosen in a second and Darnold or whatever, but let's start with Lamar Jackson, because Lamar Jackson's an interesting case for me, because I'll be honest, I've been up and down with Lamar Jackson. Sometimes I watch him and I'm like, man, this dude is going to be great. And then other times I'm like, I don't like that throw. I don't know. Like, So I've been really like up and down with Lamar Jackson, but to me, there's no doubt in my mind that he should be a first round pick. Now, I'm not saying he should be top 15. Maybe not. I'm not going to go there. But I think he should definitely, without a doubt, be in consideration for a first-round pick. And Bill Polian, that he should be a wide receiver. I'm like, what? Like, did you not watch Lamar Jackson? I mean, it's one thing is, like, just say you don't like mobile quarterbacks or you don't like black quarterbacks. I'm not going to sit there and say that Bill Polian doesn't like black quarterbacks. But although I could, you know me. But I ain't gonna go there. But I mean, beyond that though, like I can understand if you don't like his style, but to say that the guy is not worthy of a first round pick or not worthy of even playing the position, that's the thing that I think got a lot of folks. Was it's one thing to say you don't like this quarterback or you don't like this guy, you don't like that guy, but to say that the guy's not even worthy of playing the position is what I think took a lot of people back, because it was like, did y'all not watch the same tape that the rest of America watched with Lamar Jackson? Like the guy is dynamic. Now I get it. Some of his throws leave a lot to be desired. I get it. He didn't really run a real quote unquote pro style offense under Petrino in Louisville. Yes. But you're the coach. Literally, this guy is a coach. He does coach football, so he knows the X's and O's a little bit better than we do. Yes. Explain Lamar Jackson. Why is he so polarizing? Besides the fact that he's black, of course.
Lamar Jackson can change the game at any single time. You know what I'm saying? But oh my God, Lamar Jackson. I like Lamar Jackson.
I think I'll say, not to cut you off, my bad. I think he's more dynamic than RG3 in college. I'll go on a limb and say that.
No problem. And I agree with you. We just agreed again. Tonight is a great night.
It's a great night. Yeah, it's a great night. We're agreeing. I think he's better. I saw Lamar Jackson, and I was wowed when I saw RG3 in college. Like, I was like, wow, this kid is amazing. The only thing, and you're my witness because we had debates about Luck and Griffin. You were a Griffin guy. I was a Luck guy. I always told you that I liked RG3. My only issue with RG3 was, will his body hold up? That was my main concern with RG3, and I ended up being right. Besides all the locker room issue and all that, like I ended up being right. Like I didn't think his body would hold up, especially if he kept playing the way he was playing. But I think Lamar Jackson is better than RG3 in college. Like that's just me. I think he's more dynamic. I think he's got a better arm.
Yes.
So this is why. So again, explain to me the polarization of Lamar Jackson, because I think he's great. Like,
can he make all throws? That's what is he accurate? That's the thing. You get a kid like Baker Mayfield. Yes, Baker Mayfield can run. Yes, Baker Mayfield can do all this, that, and the other. But Baker Mayfield is deadly accurate. Lamar Jackson is not as accurate like Baker Mayfield.
But he's no more. Well, I'm not gonna say he's no more, but he can't be no less or more accurate than Josh Allen. Josh Allen has accuracy issues.
You're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. I just don't see. Me personally, if I'm going to win in the NFL, I'm not going there with Lamar Jackson as my starting quarterback. I can't do it.
Really?
I can't.
Really?
If it's college football, you already know. Let's get it.
So who does he remind you of? Because I've heard a lot of, obviously you hear the comparisons Vic, obviously you hear the comparisons Vince Young. You hear everything from Vic to Vince Young. So who does he remind you of?
He reminds me of a young RG3. He can, but I don't know if he can make all the throws that RG3 made. You know what I'm saying? RG3's rookie year, he went crazy. Mm-hmm. He went crazy.
Well, remember Shanahan threw out the playbook. And just basically ran Art Browser's offense on the Redskins, basically. Like, he dumbed it down. It was RPOs, which is funny that they're making a comeback now, but there was a lot of RPOs. And obviously Alfred Morris had that big year. So he basically threw out the playbook and was running. Well, Kyle Shanahan in that moment was running basically his college, his college offense. He was running Art Browser's offense. So
true. You're right. But I just think RG3 is I think RG3 is more accurate than Lamar Jackson. But Lamar Jackson can at any moment, at any time during the game. I mean, there's Lamar for 80 yards. You know what I'm saying? He's gone. And you're not going to catch him because he runs a 4.3. The kid, we've never seen, the only quarterback we've seen with this kind of speed is Vic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude is different. I don't know if his arm is as strong as Vic's was, but this kid is different. But I'm not going to battle in the NFL with him as my quarterback, and he can't stay in the pocket and protect himself. I can't do that.
I think who he reminds me of a smaller Cam Newton.
Whoa.
That's who he reminds me of. I think
really?
I think he reminds me of a smaller Cam Newton. I think he can make the throws. The issue, I agree with you. I agree with a lot of what you said. It would worry me that he's basically a run first. Like, he is the definition of a run first quarterback. But I think he can make the throws. I really do. And I think what's important with Lamar Jackson is the team that he goes to. I think if he goes to I'll say this. You know who he reminds me of? I think he reminds me of a mix of Kaepernick and Newton.
I think, whoa.
He reminds me of a mix.
Cap will stay in the pocket.
Cap will stay in the. But I think Lamar Jackson can. I just think that in college, I think he was just too in love with running and just being you know what really sold me on Lamar Jackson more than because his Heisman year, I was still up and down on him. I was like, he's amazing, he's dynamic, but I'm not sure if he can make all the throw. This past year, and I know he had a bad game against Clemson, I get that, but this past year, his offensive line wasn't as great. He didn't have the great receiving weapons that he had. And he made some great throws from the pocket. Like, when he had to make some throws in the pocket, he made some great throws. Now, I think the thing that hurts his perception was that against big competition, against big defenses, they were able to shut him down. The Gator Bowl a couple years ago against LSU, I mean, he was shut down completely. I mean, he didn't do anything. Against Clemson. Yeah. It was LSU's defense. LSU's going to do that to a lot of quarterbacks. I get that. But, yeah, that still wasn't a good look. I think the second game against Clemson, he was not great. He was not great against that. He was not great against Clemson. The first game, I thought he matched Deshaun Watson. I thought he was better than Deshaun Watson. I thought he was the best player on the field that night.
that first game against Clemson, that's probably the first football game I watched, the best football game I watched in the last maybe, the last 2 or 3 years. Like, that was...
He matched Watson, though. He matched Watson throw for throw. I thought he was better than Watson. I thought Watson, if you remember, Watson had a couple of interceptions in that game. Like, I thought he outplayed Watson. I thought he was better than Watson.
You're right. Yes. Oh, man, that game was great, man. I might have to go back and watch that one, bro. Thank you. I appreciate that.
No, but I this is big for me because you know me, I'm hit or miss with running quarterbacks, but I like Lamar Jackson. I think because of all the polarization and how many people hate on Lamar Jackson, it's made me kind of like him and like, all right, like I like Lamar Jackson. I think it all depends on the team he goes to. I think if he goes, you know what would be the greatest thing for him if he goes to a team and he just sits. Like there's a lot of rumors that the Ravens like him and that the Ravens would take him with I think they got like the 15th or 16th pick, that the Ravens would take him. If I'm Lamar Jackson, I would love that. Sitting behind Joe Flacco for a year, maybe 2, getting to learn. Like I don't know why the NFL got away from letting quarterbacks sit. Like, I don't understand that. Like, let a guy sit. Now, I'm not saying let a guy like Christian Hackenberg sit for basically 3 years where he doesn't even play, but I'm saying let the guy sit for a year, at the most 2.
Yes.
Let him learn.
A lot of people, they don't let them learn. Like just like my team, I'm a real fan. We threw Jared Goff in the fire. First year, he stunk it up. I was beginning to think, man, my boy Goff is gonna be a bust.
I know I did.
Change, lights up the next year.
Yeah.
You know, like some people need to sit. But what I've been hearing about Lamar says, I've been hearing that the Patriots.
I hear about the Patriots too. I heard about the Patriots too. Yeah, but I heard the Ravens really like him too, and some rumors that the Bengals like him too. We'll see. I mean, we'll see. I like Lamar Jackson. I agree with some of the issues that he has. I think he could play. I think he could start. I think he has a chance to be dynamic. He's boom or bust. Like, I think he's either going to be really good or I think he's going to be really bad. Like, I think he's either going to be good, like Pro Bowl level type, or I think he's going to be a bust. Like, there's no in between with Lamar Jackson. Like, I think he's going to be, he's a prototypical boom or bust prospect. But,
do you think he can be Antoine Randall? Do you think he can be Cordell? You know what I'm saying? Like, can he be? Okay, well, Sam Wallace. Okay, well, he's not a quarterback.
He's better. He's better than all those guys, though. That's the thing. I don't understand the whole turn him into a wide receiver. Like, he's better than all these guys. Like, he's better. He's better. I'll say this. At worst, he's Vince Young. At worst, he's Vince Young. And people forget Vince Young made a Pro Bowl, got to a playoffs. Like, people forget that about Vince Young now because, you know, he just basically fell off the fucking horse. But, you know, people forget that about Vince Young. Like, the dude had a couple years, and if he didn't have Jeff Fisher basically screwing his career up, because Jeff Fisher never wanted Vince Young. And instead of adapting his coaching style, being a good coach and adapting to your player's strength, he just never wanted him and almost sabotaged him. Like, I feel like Jeff Fisher sabotaged Vince Young.
And please don't say Jeff Fisher's name.
Yeah, my bad. You're a Rams fan. My bad. He shall remain nameless. But anyway, I think at worst he's Vince Young.
Dang, bro, that's a big statement, bro.
Think about it. I mean, at worst, he's Vince Young. He's a guy that has flashes of brilliance and other moments where you scratch your head. Like, I think he could be that. I don't think that's a bold statement. I don't think that's saying a lot. Like, I think he's at worst, he's Vince Young.
Dang, man, but bro, if he's Vince Young in the NFL, he can start.
That's what I'm saying. This idea that, you know, Lamar Jackson is basically, what are people thinking about drafting? I think he can start. I think he can play.
Oh man, that'd be huge, man. But I don't know.
Let's move on.
I don't think you have to change a lot about your offense. But you would have to change your offense to where, okay, Lamar, first read, second read, run. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be going through session first read, second read, third read, dump off. It's not going to be that way. Can't be.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. So what about? So you talked about Darnold's elongated motion. I like. Well, let's break down the big four, I guess. Let's start with Darnold. I like Sam Darnold. I love Sam Darnold. I think he's great. I'm not worried too much about I know the biggest concerns that people have with Darnold, obviously, besides the fact that the USC quarterback stigma, and it's hard to ignore. I mean, it's hard to ignore. The USC quarterback has not been great.
Yes.
Like, I don't think you can even debate it at this point. Like, they have not been great. That being said, I think there's something different about Darnold. I just, to me, the first time I saw him, he just, like, that's the thing for me with quarterbacks. Either you have it or you don't. Like you could instantly see a guy and be like, that guy has it. Like, that guy has it. Like, I don't know what it is, but he has it. Like, it's that intangible. It's that thing that you can't put your finger on. Like, when I saw Drew Brees, when I saw Phillip Rivers in college, I thought Phillip Rivers was going to be great. Like, I was like, man, that dude has it. I was never a Eli Manning guy. To this day, I've never been an Eli Manning guy. I've always felt he's a little bit overrated, but he's been a very good quarterback. I think sometimes you watch a guy on film and you're just like, man, this guy has it. I don't know what it is. That's how I feel about Sam Darnold. He has it. I get the turnovers were an issue, but I saw a lot of his games, and the turnovers, he made some bad throws, but a lot of it he was under pressure. He didn't have an offensive, like you talk about Rosen didn't have an arse. I mean, USC, I don't know what the hell they were doing last year. He did not have a line. He didn't have a great line at all. Like, his line was terrible. So a lot of and I think he's a natural playmaker. So I think a lot of his turnovers, a lot of his interceptions were trying to make plays. I'm not trying to excuse him because, I mean, I think he was just trying to do too much and trying to compensate for not having that line. I think he just took it upon himself to, let me make the play. I think a lot of it also was that he did feel the pressure. I think he felt the pressure of being the guy, of being this. I mean, people were calling him last year the best quarterback prospect since Andrew Luck. I mean, everybody was going to have a watchful eye on Sam Darnold. everybody.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that he didn't have as good of a year as he should have. He didn't respond well to that. But I still think the talent's there, man. I think he's great. I don't worry too much about the elongated motion. I think you can fix that. I think you can work on it. And honestly, Phillip Rivers had the same problems coming out of college. That's who he reminds me of. If I had a player comparison, he reminds me of Phillip Rivers.
He just don't talk it as much as Phillip Rivers.
No, he don't talk as much trash as Phillip Rivers. He doesn't have the arm strength that Phillip Rivers had coming out of college, but I think he's still got a very good arm. That's who he reminds me of. I mean, that's the player comparison, and I love Phillip Rivers. If anything, I think Phillip Rivers is criminally underrated. It's a shame that he's had to play all his career in that dreck of San Diego, now LA.
Yes.
But I think Phillip Rivers is great, and I think that's the guy who I would compare Sam Darnold to, is Phillip Rivers.
And that's a great comparison. I really like that comparison because Phillip Rivers, like you said, he has it. You don't know what it is, but he has it. I look at Sam Darnold, bro, and I look at Sam Darnold like, man, this kid is a leader. He has control of his offense at all times. He knows his offense so well, like inside and out. You can tell he does.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If he doesn't know his offense inside and out, he's done a damn good job fooling everybody.
Yeah.
This young man, bro, I really, really like Sam Darnold. At first, I'll be honest with you. At first, I was Sam Darnold. That's all I talked about. The only thing I don't like about him is he has an elongated baseball type delivery. And that in the NFL is a huge no-no. You know who else has a delivery like that? Russell Wilson, because he plays baseball. But Russell Wilson's his release is so fast that because the man really can't get to when he's bringing the ball down.
Right.
Sam Darnold's release sometimes is very, 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 very slow. Very slow. So he's going to really get a hold of that when he gets in the league. But I do think, the kid is great, man. He has a control of the offense. He knows what the hell he's doing. Sometimes he knows where the hell he's going to go with the pass before the play even snapped. He knows where he's going. I like the young man, dude. I think he's great.
I agree. We talked about Rosen a little bit, so we'll skip Rosen. Josh Allen. I'll be honest, I haven't seen a lot of Josh Allen play. I've seen as much as everybody. I've seen a couple plays here. I've seen a couple plays as my kids act up. It's time for bed. If y'all hearing the kids in the background when y'all hear this recorded. My daughters.
That's crazy. My son has been in bed for 3 hours, man.
Yeah, it's 8 o'clock, man, over here. But yeah, I like Josh Allen. From what I've seen from him, I like what I see. But the accuracy issues would concern me. The footwork issues would concern me. Because the one thing you can't teach is accuracy. Like either you have it or you don't. And that would concern me. Like that is one of the biggest issues that quarterbacks have when they come into the league is the accuracy. Accuracy will do you in. It will definitely do you in, and I worry about that with Josh Allen. And we talked about Lamar Jackson being boomer bust. To me, Josh Allen is the biggest boomer bust prospect in his draft. Like to me, he's either going to be very good or he's going to be bad. Like there's no in between. He's either going to be Ben Roethlisberger or he's going to be Paxton Lynch.
But I think that with this draft and everything around the draft and the quality of quarterbacks that are coming out of college, we're making a huge deal about a mediocre quarterback.
So you think he's mediocre?
I really do. If he didn't you look at some of these guys, if they didn't make first team, they definitely made second team in the conference. This guy didn't even, I think he made honorable mention. How do you make honorable mention in your conference? And you're the man. You're supposed to be the man. I remember when he was on the Sports Illustrated cover. They talked about him on SI, the most known unknown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember.
I just don't. I don't see it. I know the guy has a huge arm, and that's a great thing to have. In the NFL, that's a great. If you can't deliver the ball to a receiver running a 10, a hitch, and stopping at 7, coming back to 5, and you can't deliver it, hit him right in the chest when you need a first down, there's a problem. Yeah. I want to like this kid.
So I'm higher on him than you are, because you're definitely low on him. Like, you're just like you're not feeling it.
But we're making a huge deal about quarterbacks, and this guy, like, how do you not make their conference, like, your conference?
No, I understand what you're saying. I get it. Now, let me play devil's advocate for a second. He played at Wyoming. He had nothing, literally nobody around him. Nobody.
Okay.
Does that play a role in this? I mean, does that play a role in this? You know what he is to me? He's Jay Cutler. Because what was the biggest knock on Jay Cutler coming out of college?
He played at Vanderbilt.
and he didn't win. And for a guy that people thought should have been the number one quarterback taken in that class, like, what was the biggest knock on him? Was if he's so great, why didn't he win at Vanderbilt? And a lot of people played devil's advocate for Jay Cutler and was like, well, he didn't have a lot around him, blah, 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 blah. And that's Vanderbilt. I mean, this kid's coming from Wyoming. Now, I feel like that excuse is a little wishy-washy too, because look at Carson Wentz.
Yes. But Carson Wentz won football.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like, look at Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz was that dude at North Dakota State. Like, his senior year, he only played 5 games because he got hurt. But he was that dude. Every other year, they won national championships. He was conference player of the year. Like, he was the guy. So I get what you're saying. I understand. I'm the same way. I feel the same. I think Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen are kind of similar in a way. Like, I think they're really similar. Like, I think they're guys that I think could be very, very good, but I also think they're guys that could be busts if a team takes them really high. Like, so you think the Browns are making a huge mistake if they ever consider taking him number one?
If what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing is facts, and the Browns take Josh Allen number one, they deserve everything they get. The Browns have a chance. They got 4 picks in the first 2 rounds. Mm-hmm. The Browns, they got a 33rd pick and a 37th pick or something like that. Mm-hmm. They have a chance to be good. They have a chance. I've never seen a Browns team with this much. Like, man, their defense is actually could be.
Their defense is good. Their defense is good. They have a good defense.
Yep. Then you get Tyrod. You get Jarvis Landry to match up with the other weed head. Mm-hmm. Then you got Carlos Hyde in the backfield. You could be really good.
Yeah.
Back. And that's like it's behind Tyrod.
Yeah.
You know
I agree.
I think, bro, the Browns could be, I'll be honest with you, the Browns could be the next team that we watch out for. Like, okay, like my Rams, we came out of nowhere with 11-5 last year. Mm-hmm. The Browns could be just like that. But they have to at least, if they hit on 50%, which is 2 players out of the first 4 players they draft, if they hit on 2 players out of the first 4, they're instantly better. Instantly better.
No, I agree. I agree. I agree. I think that, listen, I think that the issue with the Browns, and we'll get to teams and who they pick or whatever, but I agree with you. I wouldn't take Josh Allen number one, but I think they're going to. I think they like him. See, the thing for Josh Allen is, like, I know we talked about this with Lamar, like, he would be so, like, he needs to go to a team that has a quarterback and sit for a year or 2. Like, I would love for him to sit for a year or 2 and just sit and learn, hold the clipboard. Like, that's the kind of guy that I would want. You know, that's the prototypical role for him because he needs to sit for a year or 2.
The fans are going to call for him to be in the game.
Well, yeah, that's the issue. Well, that's the issue now with every quarterback. That's the issue now. That's why it's weird. It's weird. Quarterbacks used to sit more back in the old days when you had these guaranteed rookie contracts and you had these big money guaranteed and now that there's a rookie scale, quarterbacks play faster. It's weird. It's weird. But I just think, man, I agree with you. I think the Browns are making a mistake. I'm higher on him than you are, but yeah, I think they're making a huge mistake. I mean, I really think they're making a huge mistake if they draft the number 1 overall. I just
absolutely.
Yeah, and let's get to Baker Mayfield because this is a guy I think we're going to disagree on too. Let me say this. I like Baker Mayfield. I'm not gonna say I like Baker. I love Baker Mayfield in college. I loved him. I loved his leadership. I think he's tough. If I had an opportunity to draft a great young college quarterback, Baker Mayfield would be my guy more times than not. I am scared to hell of Baker Mayfield in the NFL, and not for the off the field stuff. I don't care about that stuff. I'm scared of Baker Mayfield because you know me, Pac. I do not love Big 12 quarterbacks in the league. I just don't. The way you feel about SC quarterbacks is the way I feel about Big 12 quarterbacks. I think they're all overrated. I think they play in that gimmicky system that it's not conducive to putting out pro prospects. I don't love them. I don't love them.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Big 12 quarterbacks don't pan out. Really, really don't. They don't pan out. Now, they getting their games in the Big 12. Really don't play against a team with a defense until you play Texas or somebody like that.
Exactly.
And all they're going to do is sit back there and throw for thousands and thousands and thousands of yards. And then when you get to the league, like, whoa, these guys actually play defense. These guys won't hit me. Whoa, he's fast. He's the fastest defensive back. And I thought, my guys aren't the fastest guys on the field. Yeah, now there's a problem. You know what I'm saying? I feel the same way you do. Now, Baker Mayfield, the one thing that will save him, the only thing that will save him is that Baker is possibly more accurate than a lot of
I agree with that. I agree with that. I think he's accurate. I agree with that. I think he's accurate. And now I think his size worries me too. I hate to say it. He's got a lot of Manziel in him. Now, I think he's more accurate than Manziel. I think he's got a better arm than Manziel. But he's got a lot of Manziel in him.
I don't like the Baker Mayfield, Johnny Manziel thing. I don't like that. I know from outside looking in, hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to see that, I see the comparison. You know what I mean? But Baker has won more than Manziel.
Right, no, I get it. I understand they're both Heisman Trophy winners. They've both been successful. As in a lot of ways they're similar, but in a lot of ways they're very, 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 very different. So I get that. It's not somewhat of a fair comparison. But the one thing I will say, I just don't like, and I get into Twitter wars with people all the time about this. Oh, you're being down on the Big 12 quarterback. I'm like, just name them. Name them. When's the last great Big 12 quarterback? You got. I mean, RG3 was a bust. I mean, you gotta be fair. He was a bust. Didn't live up to the hype. Now a lot of, Sam Bradford, the human glass man, the man made out of glass.
Oh my God, Sam Bradford has the greatest agent of all time.
Yes, he's robbed so many teams of money. Amazing that he's robbed so many teams, and he's currently robbing Arizona of some money. They paid him $60 million, guaranteed for 1 year. I think it's guaranteed or whatever, but he's robbing Arizona is the case in point. But like Sam Bradford, he hasn't been bad, but he hasn't been able to stay on the field.
Absolutely.
And quarterbacks on my team, Bryce Petty has not panned out. Guys have just not. And I'm not sold on. And I know that you guys are going to give me Patrick Mahomes. I'm not sold on Patrick Mahomes. What am I supposed to be impressed about Patrick Mahomes? He had a couple good preseason games and had a great final game against Denver when Denver could care less, when they had one foot on the plane. That I'm supposed to be now impressed at Patrick Mahomes. I'm not sold on Patrick Mahomes.
I think he's just a gunslinger. That's it.
He's got a great arm, but I'm not sold on Patrick Mahomes. I'm supposed to just believe now that Patrick Mahomes is the guy, long term. He's the next superstar quarterback. I'm not buying it. So again, tell me where I'm wrong in saying that I don't believe in Big 12 quarterbacks. Tell me where I'm wrong.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I don't believe in Big 12 quarterbacks either. And you know something though? You're the person who made me see that. I was thinking like, man, Big 12, man, all these guys, man, they're throwing for all these yards. Man, why don't they pan out in the league? I went to looking back like, man, none of them.
None of them.
I thought Grant Harrell was going to be the man back in the day, Texas Tech. I was thinking like, man, Grant Harrell going to be the man. Nothing. Even Case Keenum, and I loved Case Keenum in college. Even Case Keenum. Now, the last year or two, he's made me eat my words or whatever. But even Case Keenum, before last year, Case Keenum was a bust. I don't want to say he was a bust because he was a later round pick, but even Case Keenum was a guy that you could have thrown on this list as a disaster.
These guys just don't pan out, and that is my biggest issue with Baker Mayfield. I'm picking Baker Mayfield, and the Jets are rumored to love him at 3. I'm picking Baker Mayfield 3. No, I'm not. I'm sorry, I'm not doing that.
I hope, Manny, I talk smack about your Jet, bro. Y'all don't take Baker Mayfield at 3.
Well, here's the thing about Baker Mayfield 3. You could have got him at 6. If they take Baker Mayfield, I don't buy that Baker Mayfield. I don't buy the rumors that he's going to go 1. And I don't buy that somebody's going to trade up to 2 to get him. I think if somebody's trading up or I think some combination of Darnold, Allen, and Rosen. More likely Rosen or more likely Darnold and Allen are going to go in those top 5 picks, one way or another.
Yeah.
So I don't buy that. You could have gotten Baker Mayfield at 6 and kept 3 of your second-round picks.
Could have.
So that would piss me off. But, and again, I know it seems like I'm bashing Baker Mayfield. I like Baker Mayfield. I just gave the kid probably the greatest compliment I could give him. I think he's an amazing college quarterback. I think he has a chance to be a very good NFL quarterback. But I don't believe it. I don't believe it because I think and that plays a role. It plays a role. Dog, Case Keenum. Well, I'll take Case Keenum out of it. Sam Bradford, RG3, Bryce Petty, Graham Harrell. Shall I continue? Brandon Whedon. Shall I continue?
These guys that we thought were going to be like, wow.
Colt McCoy.
And get to the league and nothing.
Colt McCoy. Vince Young.
Oh, my gosh. That hurts, man.
You know what I mean? Like, do I have to continue? Landry Jones.
Oh, man. Landry Jones. Oh, my God.
Can I keep going? Can I keep going? I mean, and I know what you'll say, oh, well, these guys were all... No, these guys were... I mean, maybe not Landry Jones, per se, but, I mean, a lot of those guys were considered... Brandon Whedon went in the first round. People forget that.
Bro, I thought Brandon Whedon coming out of that offense that Mike Gundy designed, I thought that he was going to be good. I really did, man. I
never saw it with Whedon. I was like, this guy? Really? This guy? Oh, how about the immortal? The guy that I think is the worst quarterback I've ever seen. You know who I'm talking about. You know the guy that went in the same draft as Cam Newton. The guy that people actually debated Cam Newton or him. The guy that Kaepernick got benched for.
No. Who?
I'm forgetting his name. I'm having a brain cramp.
Oh my God.
But you know who I'm talking about. As soon as I bring up his name, you're gonna start instantly laughing.
You gotta give me something.
Oh man, I can't remember his name. I'm getting old, man. I can't. He went to Missouri. I think he went 10th in that 2011 draft, the same draft as Cam.
Blaine Gabbert.
Blaine motherfucking Gabbert. Blaine.
Was they SEC then?
No, they were in the Big 12.
You don't think they moved?
Nah, that was in the Big 12.
Blaine Gabbert.
Blaine motherfucking Gabbert. Blaine Gabbert, another guy.
They talked about Blaine Gabbert like he was just the second coming of Jesus.
There were some people that are actually debating Blaine Gabbert or Cam Newton. So again, that is my biggest question mark with Blake Bortles, but with Baker Mayfield is that I don't know if this guy, his conference scares me. Now I know he's accurate. He's got a pretty good arm. I love his leadership. I think he's a leader. I think he could be a Doug Flutie type in the NFL, but better. I don't know. I worry about it. I worry about his conference, man. I do. What can I say?
He needs to stay around.
And there's enough of a sample size. It's not like we're sitting here saying this shit just to be haters. Like, there's enough of a sample size. There's enough of a sample size to say, like, yo, I really question this guy. Can he be all world coming from that conference?
Now, the only thing that I can say about him is his size does remind you of a little bit of Russell Wilson, a little bit of Drew Brees. I think that if he trained with those type of quarterbacks to know what they go through, I think he'll be okay. But it's nobody plays defense in the Big 12.
Yeah. Nobody.
Nobody. Everybody knows that. And that's what you see week in, week out. Can Baker handle it? And then, okay, I have Baker Mayfield on my drive going to New York. Can he handle what New York has to offer? Because if you can't handle what Oklahoma has to offer as far as the media and all that stuff, ESPN and the whole nine, you're going to drown in New York. You're going to drown in New York. It's not going to work.
I agree.
Because some people talking about the Dolphins.
Well, supposedly the Dolphins. Before you heard the Jets rumor, and I maybe it's wishful thinking, but I'm not buying the Jets rumors. I'm just not. I cannot see the Jets taking him at 3. I'm maybe, and I'll be wrong tomorrow night at this time, but I just can't. I can't see it. I can't see it. So I think the Baker Mayfield may be a smokescreen. I don't know, but I think the Dolphins really love him. I think the Dolphins really the Dolphins. Everything you hear, the Dolphins have been the biggest team that fell in love with him or whatever. So I don't know. You know this time I don't believe anything. Tomorrow you'll hear a whole bunch of rumors too. I don't believe any of this shit. At the end of the day, you just got to wait to draft night, and that's what you'll see.
Absolutely. The Dolphins, if they like Mayfield that much, they haven't even given Ryan Tannehill a true shot yet. So how can
I think Tannehill's a bum. Tannehill's a bum. I knew Tannehill was a bum the first day I laid eyes on him. Tannehill's dude, no. Tannehill.
I think he's a bum too, but whatever.
Yeah, he's a bum. But anyway, so before we get into our mocks, give me your best player in this draft. The guy that in 10 years everybody's going to be like, that's the draft that guy came out of.
Best guy overall in the draft to me, I have two. Either Saquon Barkley. I do think Saquon Barkley can hold up in the draft. My only thing about Saquon is some games he only averaged 3 yards a carry. You know what I mean? And that was in the Big 10. Mm-hmm. Big Ten's known for running backs, and you should average more yards carry than that.
But everybody geared up to stop you, though. That's the thing, though, too.
What's that? About the 3 yards a carry?
Yeah, everybody geared up to stop. I mean, you were the guy that everybody wanted to stop.
Oh, absolutely. But, you know what I mean? Like, you see running backs like Leonard Fournette.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Who you put out there in front of him, he's going to run through him. You know what I'm saying? That was just my thing about Saquon.
Nah, Leonard had some trouble against Alabama.
But who doesn't have trouble?
No, I'm just saying, if you're gonna hold that criticism to Saquon Barkley, I think you got to do the same thing for Leonard Fournette. Leonard Fournette had some trouble against Alabama. I mean, they shut him down. Did he do anything against Alabama at all, ever?
No. But that's where I'm coming from. You get Saquon Barkley sometimes against teams that he should be running all over.
Right.
He's not. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And that's what kills me about Saquon. I love him. Hell, I met Saquon Barkley when we went to the pro practice out at Disney, because I do live in Orlando, Florida. Met Saquon Barkley. My son took pictures with Saquon Barkley. I think he's great. I just don't. That's the only thing that holds up about me about him. But I do think he is the best player in the draft, and also Quentin Nelson.
Yeah.
Notre Dame offensive guard. I think that Notre Dame whole left side of their offensive line is just wow. I don't understand what happened to them. I really don't.
Yeah.
But Quentin Nelson, man, I
think McGlinchey's good too. I think McGlinchey's great too.
I like him too. I really like him too. I got him on my. You're probably going to be like, why then and why at the time? Mm-hmm. But I got him first round on my mom. No doubt about it. I like Bradley Chubb too, man. I like him, dude.
I didn't watch a lot of Bradley Chubb. I saw a couple. It's hard with DBs, man. It's hard with DBs with D linemen, man, because you got to watch the entire game. Even in film, sometimes I don't think it's really fair to analyze D linemen. Like, you got to watch the game with D linemen, how they cause chaos, how they create pressure without even getting sacks or getting hits. Like that's the thing with D linemen. It's hard to really look at D linemen from highlights and mixtapes or whatever and say, oh yeah, that guy's great. Whatever. You got to watch a lot of games of these guys to really get it. But I mean, everything, all the measurables check out. So I mean,
right about that.
What's the one guy? So real quick, what's the one guy in this draft that you're just like bust? Like, I'm not even gonna bust. Worst player in the, like, just bust. Or should I say the one guy that overrated, the overrated guy in this draft?
Josh Allen.
Okay, I'll take it away from quarterbacks.
Take it away from quarterbacks. Holy cow! Let me look. I'm trying to find his name right now. Holy cow! I said something about him earlier today when I was talking to a friend of mine. Hold on, I'm about to find him right now. Where is he at?
The wide receiver, DB.
I'm not wide receiver. Hold on, wait. I'm near him now. Oh, Harold Landry, Boston College.
Oh, Landry.
Yes. Boston College. Bro, if you watch his film, there's flashes. Yes, there's flashes. But when he comes off the ball, he's not that fast, agile defensive end that you need in 3-4. He's not the guy that put his finger in the dirt, man, not his finger in the dirt, his whole hand in the dirt, and get off and go rush the quarterback in the 4-3. I don't like. Okay, everybody's putting like, oh my God, how can I put it? Pass rushers. One of my homeboys, Justin Gregg, he's a brother to me. I love him to death. He told me something that made me really think. He says some pass rushers can make 16 plays throughout the year. Now, feel where I'm coming from. A pass rusher can make 16 plays during the whole season. How long season? 12, 13, 14 games. You make a bowl game. You make 16 plays. If you make 16 plays, let's say a sack on those 16 plays, you got 16 sacks for the year. You're damn near first rounder. He's one of those guys. He's one of those guys who took plays off, not really that great against the run, not really a dynamic pass rusher that you can be like, man, I just drafted this kid, and he's going to be the man. You know what I'm saying? He's not Tremaine Edmonds from Virginia Tech. He's not. He's not Roquan Smith from Georgia.
Who I think is great.
He's not. Huh?
Who I love Roquan Smith.
Yeah, Roquan Smith is a sideline guy. I love him to death. He's not Lorenzo Carter from Georgia. Landry is just, I think, when we get him in the league, he's going to be there for a minute, flash in the pen, he's gone.
Wow. Okay.
Flash in the pen, he's
gone. Okay. So Harold Landry. Okay. Got it.
I talked to my boys today. I was talking about guys, so I'm thinking, one of my homeboys opened up today. He's like, dude, go back and watch Harold Landry. Watch how he runs when the play starts. Watch him take plays off. He's not great against the run. He's not the elite pass rusher that you want in college that is young and fast and all that stuff. He's not the guy. I think Harold Landry, hey, dude, my words, if he's great, I will apologize if the man is great, but I don't think he's going to be that guy.
Alrighty. Well, there you have it. Harold Landry. I've seen him play a couple times. He didn't stand out to me too much, so I wasn't really super high on him. I mean, I saw him play a couple times. It seemed all right, but we'll see. We shall see. So it's with all that said and done, I think it's time for our mocks. We're just gonna do. So we're gonna do this kind of not lightning round, but basically pretty much. So you're just gonna go ahead, give the pick. I'm gonna let you do your mock. Just do the first round, obviously. Include any trades you see happening or whatever, but just team or pick or round one pick. You know, obviously we know the order. We know. I mean, we've had 8 months to fucking wait for this draft. It feels like it. That's another thing too, man. They need to make the draft sooner, man. Damn, it's like it takes too long. It's forever.
They moved it back, but I'm not gonna lie. It seemed like he just crept up on us. But I do like.
Yeah, well, because the last couple years, it was in May. Remember?
Yes. I do like how they spaced it out because you got free agency open and give us a little taste of everything.
Yeah, no.
You got free agency. Free agency was big. Free agency was huge this year, especially for my team. Very, very big. Now you got the draft coming up.
I get it. I just think it takes too long, man. I think it takes too long. Like, to me, the season officially ends February, the Super Bowl. You know what? Free agency starts, March 1st, March 5th, whatever. Like, April 1st, the draft should happen. No later. Like matter of fact, as soon as the college basketball season's over, draft time. That's it. Like, let's get it going. Damn, like this is forever. But anyway, for real, like I'm saying though, it's just too long. It's too long of a wait. It's like, and then and I think that's what makes it this whole draft. The rumors are this and the rumors are that, and we don't like this guy because he sneezed in a meeting, and it's just too long. And almost feels like these guys. It's so long that I feel like these scouts and prognosticators or whatever, they just have to create shit just to have something to talk about because it's just so long. I don't know.
They do that a lot.
Yes. Oh, I don't like this guy because he sneezed one time at a meeting, and I think he should drop it and drive. Like, what? Really?
Yes.
Whatever. Anyway. But anyway, yeah. Let's get to our mocks, man. I'm gonna let you go first. Go ahead. Just take it off. Browns at number 1.
At number 1, I got Sam Darnold, quarterback USC. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that they take Sam Darnold. If they don't take Sam Darnold, they're stupid. Only player they can take at this point in time, if you got number 1 pick in the draft, you either take a quarterback that has promise, or you take Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, some people would argue Saquon because they have that 4th pick.
Absolutely. Who you got?
My number 1 pick, I've got Josh Allen. Just because it just seems like a Browns move, man. I think they're gonna take Josh Allen, man. That's what I think.
The Browns thing to do.
All right.
Giants. Who you got?
So at number 2, I got the Giants taking Saquon Barkley. I think they love Saquon Barkley. I think that's the Giant move to do. I think that's what they'll do. They usually approach the draft, best player available. I think they're making a mistake. I would take a quarterback if I were them, especially if Darnold's on the board. I would take Darnold because they're putting way too much faith in Eli having 2-3 years left. That's a mistake for me, but I'm not here to rip the Giants right now at this moment. But I think they take Barkley.
Can I be honest with you on this one? I got Saquon Barkley, but I'll be honest. I think the Giants trade out here. I don't know.
Here's the thing with the trade out though. I think they would like to trade out. I don't think they want to go. I don't think they want to go past maybe 8. So that's the problem with the Bills have to trade up with the problem. The only team that I can see them trading to is the Bills because the Bills have that second first round pick. The problem with the Bills is nobody wants to go to 12. That's the problem with the Bills. So because there's a lot of talk that the Bills will pull the Eagles, that they'll make 2 trades. You know what I'm saying? But the problem is the only team that's even I could see. Let me back up. I think the Bills can trade into the top 10, but I think it's going to have to be Denver because I think Denver's willing to go back to 12. I think Denver will go back to 12. I don't think any later than that. But even then, that still doesn't guarantee them, the guy that they want. And I think that they could. And I think the only way the Giants trade works if they do an Eagles trade, where they trade with the Colts, they get that 6th, or they trade with the Broncos, get that 5th pick, and then they package the 5th pick to trade up to 2. And that still could very well happen. I don't think the Colts have already been on record as saying that they don't want to go all the way back to 12. They don't.
No, so where I'm coming from, I think either.
So what's your trade then? What's your trade then?
Now, I don't know. I don't know the trade. I just have a weird feeling that the Bills are going to trade up, or Arizona Cardinals are going to trade up.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see all the way to 2 though. All the way to 2. That's steep.
But Arizona, who's the quarterback?
No, I'm not saying they shouldn't. I'm just saying all the way to 2. That's a huge price to pay. I don't know if they're going to be willing to pay that price.
I think they're desperate. I think my Rams, we mortgaged the farm for Jared Goff. We mortgaged the farm, and it's finally paying off.
Yeah,
you know what I
mean? Yeah. I don't begrudge teams for doing that. I don't begrudge teams for making those trades. Like if you've got a guy that you've identified as a quarterback that can lead your franchise for the next 10 to 15, 20 years, you make the trade.
Yeah.
I don't care about some 75th pick that might turn out to be good or might not be anything. Like I can't do that. And that's why when people killed the Jets, first of all, the Jets now end up like geniuses because what they gave up was nothing. I mean, essentially 3 second-round picks to trade up for 3 spots.
Yes.
Like, had they waited till this week, Think about how much that pick would have cost him.
Yeah.
That's instantly 2 first-round picks and a second?
Yes.
At least?
At least.
So, yeah. But anyway. But we both agree, yeah. We both agree with the Giants taking Barkley. Who you got at 3? Who you got the Jets? Who you got my Jets picking, man? Go ahead.
I got the Jets taking Baker, man. I got him taking Mayfield.
Oh, man. At 3, I got my squad. At 3, I got my squad taking Sam Darnold. I think he's there on the board.
Really?
I think he's there on the board. I think if the Jets at 3 can take Sam Darnold, they're doing fucking backflips. They're doing backflips. They if the Jets get Sam Darnold at 3, they won the draft. I don't care what else they do the rest of the year. I don't care what else they do the rest of the draft. To get Sam Darnold at 3?
Yeah. That'd be nuts. That'd be nuts. Who you got Cleveland getting that for?
Oh, man. This is a trade-out candidate. I don't think they will trade back, but I think they'll keep the pick. A lot of rumors about Chubb. I think they'll take Bradley Chubb there. I think they'll take Bradley Chubb.
Absolutely.
I think they'll take should we agree on that one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's go to Denver. Let's go to Denver then. Denver is a tricky team to me because I can see them trading out. I can also see them staying there. I think they stay if they see a quarterback that they love. I think if I'm Denver, I take Rosen.
Me too. I got Rosen on mine also.
I take Rosen. You got to. And John Elway's smart. He's not dumb. He knows this kid. He sees this kid. He's like, man, this kid can be the next John Elway. Like, I gotta take this dude. Like Case Keenum, really? I don't know. I think Denver takes. I think Denver takes Josh Rosen if he's there. I think they take Josh Rosen.
Absolutely. Who do you got Indy taking?
I got Indy taking Quentin Nelson.
Damn, man, like we're on the same page.
Yeah.
They gotta protect him, man. It's $140 million. You gotta protect him.
Gotta protect him, man. Gotta protect him.
You gotta protect him. Who you got protect him?
This is my first trade here.
What?
Yeah, I think these 3 teams could all trade right now. I think the next 3 teams could all trade back. I can see the Buccaneers trading back. I can see the Bears trading back, and I can see the 49ers definitely trading back.
I can't see the 49ers.
I think if Baker Mayfield is there, and he's currently there right now, for me anyway, I think the Bills trade up to 7 and get Baker Mayfield.
Okay, I see that.
I think the Bills are not going to let the Dolphins. I think it's either going to be the Dolphins or the Bills that trade up to get Baker Mayfield.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. At 7, I got Tampa Bay taking Derwin James.
Yeah, I think had they stayed there, I think that would be the pick. But I think Buffalo calls Tampa. I think they offer him the 12th pick, and they might just throw in that 21st pick too. I think Buffalo's going to be desperate. I think, and that's and I think that's the only way Tampa would do it. I think Tampa would only do it if they got that 12th and that 21st pick, or 22nd, whatever it is. The 22nd pick. So I think Buffalo packages the 12th and the 21st and the 22nd. Maybe probably throws in a 3rd round pick there, a future 3rd round pick or something, and I think they trade up.
Yeah. Wow.
So I got Buffalo at 7 taking Baker Mayfield.
Oh my God, I can see that happening, man. I can see that happening.
Who you got the Bears taking at 8?
Roquan Smith, inside linebacker, Georgia. Sideline to sideline, baby. That's what he does best.
I got the Bears taking Tremaine Edmonds from Vatech.
What?
Yeah.
I can't see that.
They need an edge rusher.
But can he put his finger in the dirt? Can he put his hand in the dirt? That's the main thing. If the Bears if they run a 4-3 system, can he put his hand in the dirt? I saw Tremaine Edmonds play this year. I went to the Virginia Tech playing in Orlando. I forgot what it played all Oklahoma State. Bro, the kid good. Don't get me wrong. He's good. but I don't think he's that hand-dirt, can contain, can get out to the quarterback. He's a stand-up, outside linebacker who can rush the passer in the 3, but can also coverage a little bit. But they need Roquan Smith, somebody who's going to lock it up in a minute.
I get it. I thought about taking Roquan Smith there, but I just think I could see the Bears fall in love with Jermaine Edmonds. I really do.
Yes.
So I think the Bears take Edmonds, the 8th pick.
No doubt.
All right, so number 9, San Francisco. I struggled with this one because I was like, they could go a lot of different directions. I think San Francisco takes Minkah Fitzpatrick.
Wow. Hey, same.
Yeah. Really? Okay. Cool.
Yes,
cool.
Moving right along.
We're moving right along.
Wait, hold on, wait. I'm sorry to interrupt. The Rockets just put away the Minnesota Timberwolves. Thank you so much.
Congratulations. They put away the Timberwolves. Wonderful.
Very much. Moving right along.
Anyways.
Who you got at 10?
At the 10, I got the Raiders taking Roquan Smith.
And I got Tremaine Edmonds.
I think the Raiders desperately need a guy like Roquan Smith. Desperately. We know they need linebackers.
The Raiders usually have like a gritty, you know what I'm saying? Like linebacker. Roquan Smith does fit it. Absolutely. He really does. He does fit it. I picked Tremaine Edmonds, so they have another guy coming off the edge with, oh my God, can I remember his name right now? My God. Oh my God. I'm beating myself up tonight.
Yeah, man, we're both getting old, man. The over 30 club, man. You know, your memory starts getting real shoddy. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't remember old boy from Missouri. Like, man, it's bad, man. It's bad, man.
Khalil Mack. That's what
Khalil
Mack. Another guy.
Khalil Mack.
Khalil Mack, man.
Yeah. All right, moving along. Number 11, the Dolphins. They end up out on the quarterback chase. They didn't trade up. Buffalo did.
Yes.
Dolphins can go a lot of different ways here. I got the Dolphins taking the defensive tackle from Washington, Vita V.
Really?
Yeah.
I got taking Deron Payne.
Really?
From Alabama. Yeah, dude, he plays it up, bro. Like the one guy from Washington, dude, I give him a lot of credit. You know what I'm saying? I give him a heck of a lot of credit. He's good. He's very, very good. Hand speed is good. But the only thing with him is get his weight. You know what I'm saying? If his weight is going to get out of control. Now, is he going to be a 1 technique? Is he going to be a 3 technique? Is he going to be one of those end guys? Where is he going to play? Deron Payne, he plays that position at Bama. He is a nose guard. A 0 or 1 technique, he will stop it up. That's why I like that man a lot. I think Deron Payne goes 11 to Dolphin.
Yeah, let's move on. 12, I got my trade back candidate, obviously. The Tampa traded back to 12. I got Tampa taking Denzel Ward. They got the guy that they could have gotten at 7. They got him getting him at 12.
Really? I got Buffalo there. I didn't do the trade thing. I got Buffalo there, and I got them taking Josh Allen at 12.
I don't see Josh Allen falling that far. I don't. That's why I was like, I texted you that when you sent me your mock earlier, and I was like, man, I don't see it, and that's what I was talking about. I was like, I don't see it. I don't see Josh Allen getting all the way to 12. I could maybe see Baker Mayfield. I don't see Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen will definitely be gone by the 5th pick.
Wow.
Yeah, I think if Josh Allen falls for whatever reason. If the Browns don't take Josh Allen, I think the Jets take Josh Allen. If the Jets don't take Josh Allen, I think the Broncos will definitely take Josh Allen.
That's crazy, man.
He does not get past 5. And if he does get past 5, somebody will definitely trade up to get him. No doubt about it.
So you think he's gone by 6?
Yeah, I do.
That's crazy, man.
I do.
That's crazy, man.
All right, let's move on. 13, obviously the Redskins. I got Deron Payne going to the Redskins at 13. Who you got?
I got Marcus Davenport, defensive from UTSA, long arms, 6'6", just a man, dude. You know what I mean? He might not play. He has NFL bloodline. He might not have played in the defense or against competition that you want. You know what I mean? But I think the young man has it. I think and can do it, man. And he ran a 4.58 and a 40. You know what I'm saying? 264. Some people have him as a second round overall grade. But boy, it was position breakers too. I think I like him, bro. I like him. I like him a lot.
Number 14, we got the Packers. Who you got the Packers taking at 14, man?
I got Denzel Ward going at 14 to the Packers.
Wow. Okay. I got 14. Damn, I lost track of my mark here. Hold on. 14, I got Mike Hughes, cornerback from UCF.
My only thing about him is, I'll be honest with you, man. I went to the game, the AAC championship game, and they played against Memphis in that game. And hold on, wait, let me look it up real quick. The wide receiver from Memphis is Anthony Miller, bro. Anthony Miller showed his ass against UCF, and I just didn't see Mike Hughes making the big play that, you know what I'm saying, big plays that you would like him to make. Now, speed, yes, he got it. We know that. You know what I mean? He returned the kickoff return against to win the game, all that good stuff. You know what I mean? We know he got it. But I don't see him being that guy. And he has off the field issues also, man.
Yeah, he does. He's another idiot. He's another idiot. Yeah. I know.
So,
definitely.
You know what I'm saying? He left UNC. Found a home at UCF. I understand. Like, you found a home, so-called, self-proclaimed, you know what I'm saying? I know they're the undefeated team in the nation, national championship. And even though I got two kids up there, shout out to Tyler, shout out to Tristan, I love y'all boys. But I just don't see it like Hughes, bro. I like him, but I don't where they're third corner in the draft? Come on, man. I don't see that.
We'll see. We shall see. We're gonna do these a little bit more rapid fire, just name and go, because we're running out of time here soon. It's amazing. We almost been at 2 hours, man, conversating. It's almost initially we were only gonna do maybe an hour, but stop. This is every day for us, man. This is every day for us, man. But yeah, let's just rapid fire this thing. All right. So at 15, who you got?
Lamar Jackson.
I agree. Lamar Jackson.
Beautiful.
16, I got DJ Moore for the Ravens.
16, I got the offensive tackle Notre Dame, Mike. I can't say his last name.
I know who you're talking about.
McGlinchey? I can't say his last name. Yeah.
All right. 17, Chargers, I got Derwin James.
Oh, man, 17 for the Chargers. I got Rashawn Evans inside linebacker Alabama.
18, Seahawks, I got Jair Alexander from Louisville.
Well, hey, man, that's not a bad pick. 18, I got Vita Vea from D-tackle from Washington.
19, I got your boy, Calvin Ridley, Alabama.
Oh, okay, now I flirted with that. But at 19, I got DJ Moore, wide receiver from Maryland. Now, I did think about Calvin Ridley, but I got him going later on in the draft.
20, I got Marcus Davenport going to Detroit.
Ooh, I like that. But I got Taven Bryan, defensive tackle, University of Florida, going number 20 to Detroit. Detroit, I'll be honest with you, and Patriots guys, they'll go to Florida and they'll get the guy quickly. The Patriots will get a defensive lineman, outside linebacker from the University of Florida. Really quickly, no doubt about it.
Number 20, I said that already. So 21, Cincinnati, I got Rashawn Evans from Alabama.
21, Billy Pace, center, Ohio State. That dude didn't miss many games, bro.
I like him.
He started up front in the middle.
I like him.
Say Billy Pace.
I like him too. 22, which is Tampa for me since they made the trade. 22, yes. I got them taking Connor Williams, the lineman from Texas.
Oh man, okay. I got them taking. I got 22 Buffalo Bills taking Josh Jackson, corner from Iowa. My only thing is that he's not that fast. That's the only thing. But he's a lot good. Yeah, I think he's good. I like him, but he's not fast. Josh Jackson, cornerback, Iowa.
23, the Pats, the dreaded, hated Pats. I got them taking Leighton Vander-esque, Boise State linebacker.
I had him going to the Cowboys at one point. I thought the Cowboys were going to pick him up at 19. At 23, I got them taking Connor Williams, offensive tackle from Texas, because they lost Solder. You know
they did. Yeah, they did. Yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah, they did lose Solder, but I don't know. I can see Leighton going to the Patriots. I think they would like the guy like that. Linebacker can play a lot of different positions on the linebacking line. I think they'll like somebody like that. He just seems like a perfect Patriots guy. 24, the Panthers. I got them taking Isaiah Oliver from Colorado.
What position? Corner?
Yeah, he's a corner.
Yeah, I got them taking Isaiah Wynn, guard from Georgia. I know they need to protect Cam better, but they also need to get that run game going, man. Then they got to get the ball to Christian McCaffrey, dude. You got to get the ball to him, man. True.
25, that was Carolina, right? Yeah. 25, Tennessee, I got Josh Jackson. They could always use another corner.
I don't know if Tennessee really needs corner. I got Harold Landry from Boston College, the most overrated player in the draft. They do need pass rushers and then Dick LeBeau's defense. That's what they need. That's what he's on. You know what I mean? That's what his offense is predicated on. 27, or actually no, 26. Almost done here. 26. I mean his defense. Go ahead.
Yeah. 26. I got Atlanta taking Taven Bryant.
Yo, I would have, if he would have been on the board right then, I would have taken him too. But I think they take Derek Nottie, defensive tackle from Florida State. He might not be the prototypical size. He's 6'1", over 300 pounds. But the young man is very, very active, man. Quick hands. I like him, bro. Even though I hate Florida State with every day in my body, I do like the young man.
I got New Orleans taking Mike McGlinchey, Notre Dame. I like him.
I got New Orleans taking Calvin Ridley.
Really?
Receive Alabama. I don't know.
That might be sick. Yeah.
I don't know how much arm strength he got left, but man, I think that young man.
I think he got enough.
Straight up.
I think he got enough. 28. I got Pittsburgh taking Christian Kirk, wide receiver from Texas A&M.
Oh, that's not a bad pick. I didn't think about that. I got them taking Justin Reed, safety from Stanford. He just seems like the type of Pittsburgh Steeler safety. You know what I'm saying? Who can come down and make a play if they need to. Who can be in coverage back there. I like him, bro. I really, really like him. I don't get to watch Stanford as much. When I turn on his highlight film, this guy is doing everything for Stanford in the backfield, man. In the defensive backfield. I'll take him, man. I like him. Justin Reed, safety, Stanford.
29, I got Jacksonville taking... damn, I lost my thing here. I got Jacksonville taking Isaiah Wynn.
You got to take an Isaiah Wynn. I got taking Will Hernandez, guard out of Utah. But you both are on the same wavelength.
I got Minnesota taking Willie Hernandez.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. See, the reason why I got Jacksonville taking Hernandez is, bro, Jacksonville with confident, all they want to do is run the football. They're going to run the football. Yep. They're going to line up and pump them out. So they need a lineman who's going to be able to...
I thought about wide receiver with Jacksonville. I thought about wide receiver too.
Absolutely. And I can see that. But, bro, I think they go offensive line first. And you know that's how confident builds his team.
Yep.
Will Hernandez got out of Utah.
So Minnesota, I already said, they got Willie Hernandez from UTEP. Who you got from Minnesota taking at 30?
Frank Ragnow. He played guard at Arkansas, but he played center also. Frank Ragnow, Arkansas. I think that he's great, man. The Arkansas run game is always good. You know what I mean? Billima, he's gone, but their offensive line was always good, man.
31, the dreaded Pats again. Who do you got them taking?
I got him taking a tight end. I got him taking Hayden Hurst, tight end from South Carolina. Bill Belichick has been missing that other piece to his offense, like Aaron Hernandez. You know what I mean? I think that in this draft, with the tight end position as deep as it is, they go get him one, and they get their offense back going. Hayden Hurst, tight end, South Carolina.
I got them taking Mike Gesicki.
Really? You're on the same page with that?
Yeah, I got them taking Gesicki, tight end. And then, of course, the defending champs, the Eagles, at the 32, at the last pick of the NFL draft. Who you got the Eagles taking, man?
Yeah, the Eagles, on my mark that I'm looking at right now, I have them taking Christian Kirk, wide receiver, Texas A&M, but I might change it to Sonny Michel. They need another running back. They need a running back.
We're thinking alike. This is like new ground we're breaking here, because I got them taking a running back, but not the running back that you had them taking. I got them taking Darius Geis.
Really?
Yeah, I got them taking Darius Geis. I think if they stay, because that's a trade out candidate. So like the Eagles can easily trade back, but I got them staying. If they stay at that pick, I think they will take Geis with their running back. Yeah,
bro, this is a beautiful thing, man.
Beautiful.
We thinking the same. We thinking alike, man. That's beautiful.
That's beautiful, man. Hey, I am so thankful that you gave me so much time, bro. You're on the East Coast. This man is a teacher. He's a coach. This man wears many hats, man. He gave us more time than we needed. Before you go, man, go ahead and plug Endzone TV. That is our. They don't. Well, let's wrap it up pretty good here. That was our mock draft. I'm sure that they're not going to go as we planned, but it is what it is, man. But before you go, man, go ahead and plug Endzone TV. Go ahead and tell them where they can find you, all that good stuff, man.
You can find me on YouTube at The Endzone TV. You can find me on Twitter at The Endzone TV. You can find me Facebook. I do Facebook Live every Saturday. Every Sunday. Hashtag Endzone TV. I'm always available for questions, NFL questions. I do have a fantasy football league that we run every single year. We have the A League and the B League. Just hit your boy up, man. If you want to talk ball, that's what I do more than anything. I talk football, man. Hey, bro, I appreciate you having me, man. I'm very excited, man.
Bro, you're my brother, bro. Like, come on now. You know I was going to have you on the show eventually, man. We've been trying to get this for a year now, so it finally got some time and linked up. We had to do it for the draft, so of course. Oh, you forgot to plug your Twitter, man. Where are you at on Twitter? Let them know where you can find you on Twitter.
My personal Twitter is at Sip1, and my Endzone TV Twitter is at Endzone TV. No, I think it's at the Endzone TV. I'm always available. Hit me up, man. This is what it is, man. It's all football all the time, man.
Word. Well, I like to take Kyyiann. I don't know if I revealed this, but y'all may have heard me call him Pac. His nickname is Pac-Man. He's trying to get away from that now that he's an older gentleman. But his name will forever be Pac-Man. So when you hear me call him Pac, his name is Pac-Man. So Pac-Man it is. But man, I just want to thank my brother Kyyiann for joining me on the show this week. Like I said, I've known this man for 15 years. He's my brother, like legit my brother. Like I love him, man. Thanks for joining me on the show. We will definitely have you on the show again, bro.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for having me, bro. I appreciate it.
All right, bro. Kiss the nep and tell the wife I said hello. Love you, bro.
Well, do the same. Holla at me. You too, boy. Holla at me.
All right, man.
Brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters. I don't know what this world is coming to.
Fouls of the week. And my foul of the week goes to Mike Francesa, WFAN, and that whole debacle that happened this week. If you guys are not familiar with this story, most of you probably are not, since you guys are not. I doubt that any of you are that enthralled with the New York sports radio scene. But as you guys know, longtime radio host Mike Francesa, partner of Chris Russo, Mad Dog Chris Russo, who made the excellent, wonderful, amazing, iconic show, Mike and the Mad Dog, called it quits in December of 2017 after 30 years at the Post, 10 years plus, in his own solo show after Mad Dog left. He decided to retire, wanted to do other things, other projects, whatever. Just decided to kind of basically give up the Post. So basically, he quits on December 15th. WFAN scrambles to replace him. I mean, this is a guy that's been in the New York sports scene for 30 years, had one of the great shows in the history of sports radio, the greatest sports radio show ever, Mike and the Mad Dog. Then he takes over as himself, Mike's on, does that for 10 years basically. and extremely successful, number one in the ratings, drive time, all that, decides to retire for whatever the reason, spend more time at home, focus on other projects, whatever, decides to retire. And then after about 3 months of retirement, decides, you know what, this retirement thing doesn't really work out for me. I'm not having a lot of fun. Whatever projects or stuff that I thought was out there are not out there. Whatever the case may be. He decides he wants his old job back. Now, couple that with the fact that the show that replaced him, or his show, Chris Carlin, Maggie Grace, and Bart Scott, were, let's be real, a fucking terrible show. It's an awful show. Bad hire. I like Chris Carlin. I like Maggie Grace. Bart Scott, come on. Bart Scott was terrible on the NFL Today. He got shit canned. He was awful. He's not good on TV. He wasn't good, and he definitely is not good on radio. And the show just stunk. It was terrible. It was received poorly. And for the first time really in history, that time slot was beaten by ESPN's Michael Kay show. In the ratings, barely, but still beaten. And that's an embarrassment for WFAN and Entercom, the company that owns WFAN, and everybody involved. Long story short, it's basically the radio version of the whole Jay Leno, Conan O'Brien situation. Essentially, Jay Leno decides to quit his post. Conan O'Brien takes over. The show, Conan O'Brien's Tonight Show's not doing that well in the ratings. And guess who comes back in? The white knight in shining armor, to reclaim the post, Mike Francesa. And I just want to give a foul to everybody involved. First of all, a foul to WFAN, because to me, if you're going to replace Mike, and I get what their logic was, you're not going to ever replace Mike Francesa, you're not going to ever replace Mad Dog Chris Russo, so why try to recreate that? Why try to put... To me, first of all, the choices they had were terrible. I like Chris Carlin. I think Chris Carlin's a good radio host. I think he's got a good voice for radio. I think he's a knowledgeable guy. I like Chris Carlin. Maggie Grace, from the little bits I've seen her work on SI and stuff like that, I like her. I don't know if I like the trio, and Bart Scott we've talked about. I don't know if I like the trio together as a team. That show was just doomed to fail. There's a special brand in New York that you have to have. There's a special connection that you have to have with the audience, with the fans in New York, and that show just was doomed to fail. I said it at the beginning. I said this months ago, just talking to friends, the people that follow the situation. I said they should have initially just moved Joe and Evan, the show the midday show that comes on prior. They should have moved that up to the drive time slot, given those guys a show. Joe Beningo and Evan Roberts, I think both talented guys who deserve it, guys who have busted their asses at that station for years, deserve the opportunity, deserve the promotion. They didn't. They tried to get a new voice. They tried to get, younger, hipper, I guess. I don't know what WFAN's decision making, what went into that decision, but it was just terrible. That show was doomed to fail. Everybody knew it. Everybody with a brain knew that show was designed to fail. And it did. And it did. So they get a foul. And then Mike Francesa. Dude, it's one thing to say you're going to retire. But he basically did this. He basically had a goodbye tour for 2 years. For 2 years. I'm retiring, and then the last year was just a whole year's worth of retirement, of a goodbye, of a victory lap. His last show, family members, people in the radio, celebrities, famous folks, whoever called in the show to give their regards, say how much they're gonna miss him, blah 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 blah. I mean, just this whole big ass presentation, and then 3 months in. You're having cold feet. 3 months in, hey, you know what? This retirement thing's not going to work out for me. So yeah, let's redo this thing. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's not a good look. It makes you look bad. It just makes everybody. It just makes the whole situation just look fucking bad. So foul of the week, Mike Francesa. Foul of the week, WFAN. Just the whole situation. Everybody involved gets a foul of the week from me, and a special foul of the week. Another foul of the week that I'm going to issue. A special foul of the week to Kanye West. There's just nothing left to say about you. There's nothing left to say about your career. There's nothing left to say about you. You are clearly in the sunken place. There's no need to debate it. There's no need to argue it. It is what it is. Kanye West, you receive a foul of the week. That's it. There's just if you've been on Twitter today, you know what I'm talking about. Kanye West. Foul of the week. Foul of the year. Let's just go out of the way and say it. Just foul of the year. He just gets a foul. He just keeps getting fouls because this dude is just. Oh, man, it's a damn shame what happened to Kanye, man. It's a damn shame. Anyways, man, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. It was a pleasure having my brother Kyyiann on the show. I know we said it a lot on the show, but man, dude is really my brother. Is one of my best friends. A guy that I could call at 2 a.m. in the morning with an emergency, and he's going to pick up the phone. He's going to answer the phone. He's going to help me. He's going to do whatever it takes. I could call him right now. Yo, you got $300. He'll send it to me. Like that kind of friend, a brother. Guy I've known for 15 years. I love him. So it's good to have him on the show. We've been planning on it, but our lives are both hectic. And we've just been trying to link up for the last year or so since the show's been around, and we just haven't been able to do it. But we figured with the draft, it was a great time to do it. So shout out to him for, giving us so much time, breaking down the draft. And as always, you guys can always follow him on Twitter, Sip1, and also follow Endzone TV, man. Endzone TV is dope, man. It's a dope show. He does there on Twitter. He does there on YouTube and on Facebook Live. Has his picks for all the NFL games throughout the 17 weeks of the season. So make sure you guys go subscribe to that and go follow that. That's it for me this week, though. I'm going to get up out of here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for supporting the show. You guys know the deal. Without you guys, there is no show. You guys are what makes this show go. If any podcaster doesn't have an audience to listen to them, there is no podcast. So you guys are important. You guys are what makes this show possible. So thank you for listening. Keep listening. Keep subscribing. And I appreciate you guys every single day. You guys don't know how humbled I am. I actually got a few reviews this week for the show. All great reviews. Thank you for those reviews. Whoever, the folks that left those, man, I truly appreciate it. Just thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting the show. I hope we keep you guys listening and keep you guys supporting the show. So thank you. As always, man, you can find me on Twitter at @DManuelBrown, also on Instagram at @DManuelBrown, and on Snapchat at MannyBro15. Follow the show, the TF Podcast 1 on Twitter, and also on Instagram, the TF Podcast. And of course, as always, this show is always available on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Google Play. Anywhere where there's podcasts, you can find the show. Definitely we'll be back sometime this weekend with another show. Just more of a general show. I know that we focus heavily on the draft this show. Just wanted to focus more on the draft this week since the draft is tomorrow night. So I'll be back with another more of a just general news show. Thinking Sunday. Definitely thinking Sunday. Have some time. Just trying to work out some things, working on a guest or whatever. So and of course we'll definitely recap the draft because it's the draft. Of course, it's Christmas time. It's Christmas time for NFL fans. But anyway, man, I'm gonna definitely be back on Sunday with another show. As always, man, just thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for supporting the show. Enjoy the draft tomorrow. Have a nice, happy, safe weekend. We will definitely check you guys back out on Sunday with another episode of the podcast. For my boy Kyyiann, I am Manny Fresh. We are out. Peace.